This next fight, we've got Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar. Sterling moving up, so he's not having to do all the cutting and stuff. So some people will look at that as, oh, he's going to be the littler guy. Depends how much Kattar's cutting. If Kattar's cutting quite a bit and Sterling doesn't have to worry about that aspect of his game and he can just focus on camp, that's a pretty good a good look for the former champ. Aljamain Sterling, he's got great grappling and sub work. Really good forward pressure too. I feel like he has that safe forward pressure, doesn't just run at you. He's very reliant on the grappling, which facing a guy like Kattar who hasn't fought a grappler of this magnitude yet in his career, I think it's going to do Sterling really well. Kattar hasn't fought in 2 years, and this was a point brought up by Guru that when he talked about it, I thought this makes perfect sense. And when you're always looking for that edge in betting, this is a huge one. So Sterling, big time wrestler. Kattar hasn't fought in 2 years because of his ACL injury, but the leg that he injured is huge. He didn't injure his lead leg. He injured his back leg. So if Sterling is going to come in and shoot, he's going to get that front leg, and that means you're going to have worse balance on this leg. So you're going to go down a lot easier, and you're going to have 2 years. The ligaments should be okay by now, but I don't know how much he trusts it. Some of these guys have like concerns about stability. So that's going to be something that we have to see. Wait till the match to really see. But we know probably balance-wise, he might not be back to where he is. I think it is going to still affect him. He's got elite boxing. But looking at his career, he beats boxers and loses to grapplers. And I just think this is a nightmare matchup for Sterling. And Kattar, too, decision-heavy guy. So he's not... You don't have to worry about the knockout, which I feel like that's what we saw happen to Sterling when he fought our homie in the wig. Calvin, I just really worry. He's been gone for so long. He's got that bad leg. Facing a wrestler where that's his weakness. I think Sterling takes this one handily. It's at minus 185. I can't say a method with this one. So I think I'll just leave it at money line. I'm interested what you think.
Yeah, so I'm a big Calvin Kattar fan. You probably don't remember, but in like 2019, I was hyping him up to you and our brother-in-law and whatnot. I've been on the Calvin Kattar train for a long time. Let's just say that. It's puttered out, petered out, all that fun shit over the years and whatnot. Surprisingly, he's 36. He looks younger. He seems younger. Doesn't have as many miles on the body, but damn, it's kind of crazy thinking that he's been around in the UFC, I believe, since 2018, maybe even 17 at this point, and he's 36. And unfortunately, as you've already mentioned, coming off a pretty bad injury. Nothing crazy. It's an ACL in the modern era, not like the 1930s. We have the technology. Right. We can rebuild him type shit. But nonetheless, yes, it is called for concern because of the inactivity, that long layoff. And yeah, I think they pretty much tailor-made this fight for Aljamain Sterling. As much as he bitches about the UFC. And hey, maybe rightfully so. Some of those complaints are valid and feeling like he's screwed over by the leadership and, set up and all this other fucking crybaby shit. Maybe some of it's valid. I'll say this, though. This feels like a layup for him. It feels like they're giving him a little pat on the ass. That boy, maybe we did screw you over, but here's a little incentive to keep you going, buddy. Don't fucking suck start the Can't say that on the goddamn fucking YouTube. You get the point, all right? Don't fucking call it quits just yet, buddy. Chin up, pat on the ass. And it's a pretty good matchup for him because, yeah, Calvin Kattar is going to want to stand. He's going to want to use his good boxing. He clearly has the boxing advantage, the striking advantage overall, knock you on your ass power, brutally KO Jeremy Stephens. Fuck Jeremy Stephens. And it's pretty much made for him. And it's pretty much also made that, yeah, if he starts to grapple, he's going to be a victim of the grappling. His takedown defense, I believe, isn't that great. And even if it does hold up, it doesn't matter because the style of Aljamain is he's going to keep going. If he wants to take you down, he's going to keep going until he gets it. Doesn't matter how long, et cetera, et cetera. And if you don't KO him first, then there's going to be a problem. And the only thing that gives me pause is I don't know if Calvin might be taller than him. I'm not sure how the reach is looking, but just what makes me think about it is the only way I could see this going differently is if Aljamain does the same thing that he did against Sean O'Malley and leads face forward into the striking exchanges with no setup to the takedown. That's the only thing that leaves me concerned, because obviously with a guy that's kind of built in terms of like his length and all that shit, like Sean O'Malley, that's the only X factor in this that makes me kind of scratch my head. But surely Matt Serra and the rest of the guys at fucking Serra-Longo would have him have a better game plan than the same exact thing that just got him knocked the fuck out by a I can't even say all my favorite goddamn words on this show. So let's just say by I don't even know if I can say cuck. If I can't just fucking censor it. The guy that's the cuck in the corner that knocked him out, if they come in with the same fucking game plan that they did against Calvin Kattar, shut that whole goddamn fucking gym down. Just say that there's a staff outbreak or some fucking public health concern. And please, New York Health Department Inspector, Combat Sports Association, if you're out there listening to this, shut that fucking gym down. Just make some shit up if they come in with that same game plan that gets him knocked out going face forward into fucking striking distance with a superior striker instead of fucking crotch sniffing like Jorge Gamebred Masvidal would say. So all that to say, I know how it's going to end. This is my there's most anticipated fights. This is probably my least anticipated fight. This is the fucking one that sucks the air out of the room. And it doesn't even do a good job fluffing you up for anything, because all it does is blue ball you until the next thing comes up. But it's going to be a fucking decision. It's going to be a decision by Aljamain Sterling, because he doesn't have his own damn power, and he doesn't have the killer instinct to finish by sub, even if he gets them in compromising positions. So it's going to be a boring-ass 15-minute decision.
I can't disagree with you there. If I had to lean a method, I would lean decision too. It just seems a lot like that Moicano fight with Drew Dober. Just
you want to hear a joke?
If they can get you beat, yes.
Aljamain Sterling KO. You didn't see that coming because it doesn't fucking happen.
No. No. Yeah, I don't see that. He's going to use his wrestling. That's going to be it.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast. Better in Green.